Hey, Dave Trombetta. Welcome to my podcast at midnight. This is Not My Rabbit Hole, the podcast. And I'm glad to see you here, Dave Trombetta. Great to see you. Well, I mean, I'm not really, I can see your profile. I know that's you, Dave Trombetta. You know what? Dave, welcome to Not My Rabbit Hole, the podcast. Dave, I do my podcast on Instagram at midnight because, why not, right? And then I re-upload it to Anchor and then to Spotify. They suggest you do this to build an audience. And you're my first person, so I hope you don't leave me here. For those of you who don't know, I actually really know Dave back when I was 20 years old, right? Am I older than you, or are we exactly the same age? I can't remember exactly, 20 or 19. But we met at Roger Rocca's Good Company Players in Fresno, California. And we dated for a while. So, I want to throw that in there as well. So, you never know who's actually going to tune in and listen to your podcast on Instagram. Dave Trombetta is also, you have done acting and also many things with your life as well. And so here we are in our 50s. In our 50s in the middle of a pandemic, right? Having to deal with the strangeness of life that's happening in our world right now. I actually started a podcast at midnight, right at midnight, and nobody came on for a while. And then I realized how psychologically that was affecting me. Because sometimes I do a podcast and I'm not talking to anybody. I'm just doing a recording. I got things I want to say and I record it. But there's something about being live and actually really talking to somebody, or even if you just, hey, when another person came in, yay! Let me see. Pretty Permanent Cosmic ICS joined. I'm going to wave to you. Welcome to my midnight podcast. And so this is Not My Rabbit Hole. The reason why I call it Not My Rabbit Hole is because I got kind of, the whole rabbit hole I thought got kind of out of control, and it got associated with the PSYOP. The letter that come Q, I said it, Q, okay, the whole Q thing, the whole rabbit hole, the whole programming. And I thought, that's not my rabbit hole. Some of the things that were being said, I'm that's disinfo with real information gets mixed all up together, and it's hard to figure out exactly what the truth is. And so oh wow, I'm so glad to see you guys here. KC Midtown Artist joined. Hi, welcome to Not My Rabbit Hole at midnight. First person who came in was Dave Trombetta, who actually I dated when I was when I was 20, and we were performing and we were working in theater at Roger Rocca's Good Company Players. By the way, shout out to Fresno, California, Roger Rocca's Good Company Players. You know who else who was a big star from that is Audra McDonald. And I'll tell you something, I remember running, doing the spotlight up in the theater. It was the the kids cabaret, and her and her sister would be singing that song Sisters. And who knew that she would be a Tony Award winner, and just a famous actress, a really wonderful actress. So you never know how your life is gonna cross paths with people, and so here we are on Instagram. Let me see. Damn phone, how was my day? You know what? My day was pretty good. It's been pretty productive. I actually edited last week's podcast and put it up on Spotify. So last week's is actually airing this week, and I just kind of watched a lot of different things. I've been binge watching The Stand. I don't know if the Stephen King's The Stand, the new one that's on Amazon Prime. What's interesting in it is Amber Heard is playing like basically the Queen of Satan, and it's sort of she's kind of infamous right now because of the the Johnny Depp, her relationship to Johnny Depp. Wow, I've got more stuff going on here. That is a good show. Yeah, it is a good show. But it really is. I'm really digging it. And it's kind of weird to watch it. It's kind of in the sense that we're going through a pandemic and they have this flu. The flu is going on, and then there's just certain people that are surviving. And I haven't read The Stand yet. Forgive me for that. I should actually read the book before. And this is actually my first experience. Like the other The Stands, I never watched before. So this one, for some reason, I thought, well, maybe I'll tune into it. Now, I'm kind of just like on episode 4 right now, where Amber Heard actually shot. Oh my God, I'm probably making a scene spoiler. So I should probably just shut up right now, but yeah, it's kind of, it's one of those kind of apocalyptic doomsday, quasi spiritual kind of things where like there's a light and a dark side, the old woman with the white hair, and then, the Satan, who basically lives in Vegas, because we know that's where Satan resides, right? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Oh, you're on episode 2. Okay, I hope I didn't ruin it for you, by saying that she shoots somebody. But I'm not going to tell you I won't tell you who it is. What I thought was really interesting was that Greg Kinnear is in it. And I really like his character. Greg Kinnear, he's a good actor. Remember when he was on The Daily Show? Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of Greg Kinnear. I think, though... Oh, wait, I don't know. Have you gotten to Greg Kinnear yet? Jeez, I might be ruining it for you. Yeah. I'm watching it now on episode 2. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Maybe next week I can come back and I can recap it. I ruined it for you. Okay, I'll stop. Yeah, I also... another thing, I actually like him. Yeah, I do, too. I like Greg Kinnear, and it's been a while since I've seen him, so he's got a real cool character. It's a good Greg Kinnear character. I think you're gonna enjoy him. I don't know where it goes exactly, in terms of, so I'm glad I don't know where the story goes to or what they become, but it's definitely interesting. One of the things that I noticed because I also watched, I don't know if you watched this as well, Utopia, that starred John Cusack playing Mr. Rabbit. And there was an original series that was done in England, and then they made an American version of it. And that was also about a virus, a deadly virus, but this one was created, basically. This one fell into like the what you would consider to be the conspiracy theory camp. Plus, the name was Mr. Rabbit, right? Because there's that whole rabbit Alice in Wonderland thing that we just can't seem to get away from in our art. 2 other comedians said I should watch that. Yeah. It's good. I mean, I binge watched that too. And that whole thing is about, ultimately, I'm going to ruin it. Spoiler alert, because it's a vaccination thing. It all goes to, like, this show, Mr. Rabbit, goes to, like, there was a plot to give people vaccinations to make them become unfertile for population control. And that was the thing to be worried about. So, I guess the reason why I'm bringing this up in a way about these types of movies, because I'm drawn to them, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I kind of like horror a little bit, and sci-fi even, or supernatural stuff, or M. Night Shyamalan, right? What was like I See Dead People. That movie is just amazing. That is like, till you don't really realize it till the end that he's actually really a ghost. Like, I think that's good cinema, when you're thrown off that much. Another film that's surprising that I think is good cinema that catches you off guard is The Crying Game. That was like when you realize that she is actually a man. So that was a big deal at that time when that movie came out. So I love film. I could talk about film or movies or what they symbolize all day long. Although what I find interesting is that two types of series come out, and they have to do with pandemics and viruses and vaccinations and things like that. And we're living that. And then people will say, well, how come you don't want to take the vaccination, or how come you don't trust this and that? And I'm thinking, well, because look at like some of the movies that are out there, like if people want to keep, it's like, I don't know, it's just interesting to see how art imitates life and life imitates art. And speaking of getting the jab, and again, I'm not trying to be a social influencer here, but I also want to just talk about what I'm observing, and then just share with you what I think, okay? Because I'm one of those people that I'm like, okay, let Mikey try it first. Like, I don't have, like, first of all, I've never taken a flu shot before, and I always thought in the past, like, if you got a flu shot, it was like something where, well, maybe your own immune system wasn't working as good. Like, I don't get the flu very often. I mean, I have allergies and stuff, but I don't get the flu very often, and I don't get many colds. Like, I might get a mild something, or if I do get a flu, it's like a mild thing. And I know that I'm an older person now, but in that sense, I just don't, it's just something I just haven't had very much. And then of course now with this flu being different, and especially being different with people who are older, or people that are diabetic or have other types of illness and things like this, I can understand where it is more threatening, and obviously it became a global pandemic, and something that has changed all of our lives. I'm seeing you say stuff here. Yeah, I can go on and rant about the shot. Not older, seasoned. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel more seasoned, but then I'm wondering, well, just because you're old doesn't mean that you're more wise. I mean, not everybody gets to be old and be wiser, but it is a better way to think about it. Hopefully, if you're on the right track as a human being, by the time you get to a certain age, you are more seasoned and more knowledgeable of things. Yeah, I can. Okay, is it like Boys Don't Cry? The Crying Game. The Crying Game. Oh my gosh, you should. That had an actor. He was nominated. Oh, I don't want this in here. Okay, I'm going to try to just send this because somehow I touched something and made something go weird. So I just said hi just to get off of it. Yeah, The Crying Game was, it was actually, I think it was made in England. It has Stephen Ray in it. That's the first time I saw him in a film. And Forrest Whitaker is in it. And I think Stephen Ray is in the IRA. Or he's working against the IRA, and Forrest Whitaker was part of the IRA. That's probably what it is. And Stephen Ray had Forrest Whitaker captive for a few days, and while he had him captive, the two men struck up a relationship between one another, and the Stephen Ray character started to sympathize with the Forest Whitaker character. And Forest Whitaker talked about this woman that he was in love with, how wonderful she was, and he says, like, do you have a woman? And then he talks about his woman, and then he says, and then he says to Stephen Ray, he goes, but I don't think you would be interested in my kind of woman. He goes, oh, what are you talking about? Right? Not knowing that the woman is the woman is actually really a man, right? And so he shows the picture of the woman, and you see it, like, he takes it out of his wallet, and you see the picture of the woman there, right? Like, briefly, and when the camera goes to it, you're like, yeah, okay, that's a woman, right? Well, the Forest Whitaker character asks the Stephen Ray character to protect his woman if he dies, and of course he died, and so the Stephen Ray character goes to find his woman. And then does become, like, she's a hairdresser, and she, cuts his hair, and then she goes into a bar, and of course it's a gay bar, but he's very naive about the fact that the women and the men are, right? Okay. And the bartender kind of says, like, do you know where you're at, and this and that, and and he still doesn't catch on. And the Stephen Ray character actually sings The Crying Game, that song. And then that song got a reboot, because it was originally Culture Club, right? Did it first. So anyway, yeah. So as the movie goes on, like, you go through a lot of the film, you go through the first love scene that they have. And then you realize that he's not, he's not really a woman. But in the end, he still stays with her. Like, even though it's still a guy, he still stays with her. So it's kind of like a modern day Madame Butterfly in a way. And I remember when that movie came out and going to the movie theater. And then we were really shocked that it wasn't, that Jay Davis was really a man. It was a real good twist in a movie, and the way they did it was really believable. And in that sense, I'm impressed with it. I'm impressed with things like that. When it has like for example, M. Night, what is it? The M. Night Shyamalan film. The one about him being what was the name of that movie? The Sixth Sense. That was a great script. So anyway, I'm talking about tonight. Forest Whitaker in it. I am sold already. You should DM me these movies. Okay, I will. The Crying Game. Gotta watch it. It's classic. Seriously, I think you're gonna love it. It's one of my favorite. I don't know. I have a hard time, saying, well, what is your top 10 favorite films, right? Like, over a period of time, what's your top 10 favorite? I don't know. I mean, I know that one of them I love is Blade Runner. I don't, for some reason, I love Blade Runner. Great movie. I love that last scene, where he's talking about, like, now, something like, now we disappear just like tears in the rain, or something like that, which, by the way, he improv that. That was something that was actually improv. So I love a good story, and I love a great film. I still love, I don't know, I've become soured a lot on what celebrities do, and celebrity culture and things, and the social influencing that a celebrity takes in the world, and some people see that as being admirable, and then some people see it as being, well, they're part of their job as a celebrity is to promote the things that the machine want you to promote. There's some movies about that too. There's a movie about Gene Seberg, I think, that recently, I want to see it. It stars Kristen Davis, is it? Let me double check on that. The girl who starred in the vampire movies. hold on, let me just make sure I pull this one up right. Because I was just recently watching, I was watching something on, let me see. It was an Shia LaBeouf and Kristen Stewart. It's an actor interview, and she plays the actress Jean Seberg, whom I want to research, because for some reason the FBI, like, she was being tracked and kind of really harassed by the government, and I think it was because she was having a relationship with a black man. I think it has something to do with racial tension. Believe that's what it is. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Like, she was a forerunner or an activist in a sense, and it pretty much ruined her career at the time. So yeah, I've been into Shia LaBeouf a bit. Utopia and all of the other movies, can you DM to me? Definitely. I'll DM all the movies that you want to, I'll DM all the ones you want to see. Yeah. So, yeah. So anyways, I was talking earlier, you know, I'm trying to, like, have a more of a point about the jab, right? About how, I don't know, how, like, the movies play a part in a doomsday scenario, right? In our culture, right? So our films are mirroring something that's going on with us. Like, it was really weird to watch, what was that movie with the pandemic one that came out, and then Sandra Gupta played himself in it, and then he basically said the same thing in the movie that he did in life, you know, like the way that sort of, that's just kind of interesting. To me, that's kind of weird. Well, anyway, one of the things I noticed today, another video that I saw right before I did the show, was that Wendy Williams was talking to Dr. Oz, and she's refusing to take the shot. Like, she's like, I don't trust it. I don't believe in it. I'm not going to get it. And, you know, it's just not going to happen. And then, you know, Dr. Oz tried to wrap her around again. They go, well, why don't you say something else for the people that aren't healthy like you are, you know? And, you know, but she says flat out, I don't trust it. And that is really one of the most bold things that I've seen somebody in the public do that would be anti the jab. Another thing that I want to make note that I saw today was the actor Ben Stein from Ben Stein's Money, you know, like Bueller, you know, that guy. He got the vaccination, and it did a video and said that he got really sick. He goes, I just had it. I'm really sick, and I'm having some strange thoughts. And the strange thoughts part is the part that I have a question mark. Like, why are you getting, like, okay, like, I know that the shot is, like, would give you fever and chills, and maybe you would have symptoms of the virus that you've taken. I mean, that's even happened with just, you know, regular vaccinations. These vaccinations are different. It has something that affects the RNA, and it's synthetic, and it's for you to create your own antibody against it. So there's something that's being given to people that's never really been given before. Okay, where am I? To me, that's the part that makes me nervous, right? Anyway, Ben Stein was saying that he got really sick and had a reaction, was having these strange thoughts, or things were going on in his mind. Then he does a follow-up video and says, I feel better, but apparently he had to be on oxygen and had, you know, or a respirator. He wasn't like, you know, like how they like that in the hospital, but he had to have some sort of aid. Hi, Papa Hemp. I can rant for hours. Yeah, me too. Yeah. So you're a talker like I am. It's like I almost have to talk, you know? I mean, it's hard to get me to shut up. So I guess I'm actually doing the right thing. KC Midtown Artists, do you do a show? You know, I mean, do you have your show too? Well, maybe I'll wait till you answer me. So, and Papa Hemp's here. Welcome, Papa Hemp. So, Papa Hemp, I was talking about, I'm being a little bit courageous tonight, and I'm discussing the jab here on Instagram, and just kind of, you know, there's a couple things that I observed. Was that we have an actress here in the actress, or I guess like she's you know, she's mainly a talk show host. I don't know, maybe she is an actress, but she Wendy Williams is her name, and I'm a great communicator. Thank you. Well, you know, I try. I'm new, but I would love to be on be on someone's show. Oh. Well, yeah, maybe you can join me here at midnight sometime. I've got to figure out how to add a person. I think you can just make a request, but this is actually my third time doing this on Instagram. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, I'm open to having people actually come on and talk while I'm here. Pharmo tracking device. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, Wendy Williams told Dr. Oz, I'm not getting it. I don't trust it. I've never had a flu shot. I don't get colds. I don't get the flu. I'm not going to do it. And then, of course, you know, Dr. Oz is wanting to wrap it around, right? You know, like, hey, why don't you say something else besides what you're saying here so that you don't affect don't you see how you're going to affect all the other people out there from getting it by saying this? Like, where's your responsibility of as someone who is in your power position? And she just flat out wasn't going to do it. And I was like, wow. You know, and then listening to what happened to Dr. Ben Stein, he's being honest about what happened. You know, he's like, I think one of the first celebrities I've seen this come out and said, hey, I didn't have a good reaction to this. I don't know. I don't want to, see, like, again, I'm trying to be careful here. You know, because I see some of my friends getting the shot. I see them doing it. You know, it's like, you know, they take a picture and they show their card. I got my first one, you know, and, you know, on Facebook or, on Instagram, you know, it's like, oh, you know, I voted, you know, I'm the, you know, and so there's even this sort of like, I'm a really good person for doing this, you know, and then, like, I'm probably, like, to some people, like, talking like this, I'm going to seem like I'm a shithead, you know? It's like, oh, really? You're not going to do it, you know? I'm like, oh, not yet. I don't trust people that much. I guess that's my problem. I mean, and I have to say that it's not just me. I think that there's a large portion of our society that doesn't want to get it. And, you know, but again, if I keep talking about this here on Instagram, you know, then, you know, I'm sure that I might get like one of those little stamps, like, oh, you know, you're a conspiracy theorist, or you're affecting our community guidelines, you're harming others by talking about this. So, you know, again, I'm trying to soft sell it, but I don't want to sit here and like communicate on some level and say, oh, I want to be courageous, like, you know, Wendy Williams, and say, you know, I don't trust it. You know, like I said, like, let Mikey try it. And there have been some reactions out there that I've been looking at that just don't look good. Virtue signaling. Once with Wendy on Halloween, when she was Statue of Liberty. Agenda 21, yeah. Okay, so you get it. Yeah, Agenda 21. Yeah. I don't know what was going on. I've seen some people talk about Wendy Williams and when she fainted when she was like the Statue of Liberty, and they've said things like, oh well, that was an MK Ultra breakdown. Maybe her costume was just hot. Then some people says, well, she saw a demon, because, those, those actors or those people in Hollywood, they've all like sold their soul. I don't think everybody in Hollywood has sold their soul, really. I think maybe some people have sold their soul. I do. I think some people, I think that level of evil is actually really out there. And to be honest with you, even though, I've started the show out talking about movies and my love for movies and scenes and this and that, and, being that, I'm an actor and a comedian and a performer myself, and I love the business of show business, but there's definitely, there are occultists in Hollywood. All right. I mean, there are witches that are, there are people that work in Hollywood that, probably have, their own little holly tree wand. All right. I know that sounds like, but let's be real here. The very essence of all of it is, that way. You have you already have the conspiracy theorist stamp. Who is buying all these shows? Not 1984, but enough said. Yeah, I know. I've got the conspiracy theorist stamp. I'm just, Papa Hemp. I'm not quite as radical yet on Instagram as I am on my own channel. My own YouTube channel, right? I'm trying to break it in a little bit here, right? Try to break it in a little bit. Thalamite thespians, Kabbalists. I guess I'm saying it wrong. Yeah. All that stuff, But at the same time, I don't think everybody that is working in the industry is like that. I've worked in it, and I'm not that. Of course, I got kicked out of it basically. I got kicked out, but I think I still communicate with friends and I respect them and this and that, blah blah blah, and I don't know if I'll go to work again that way. Maybe I will, but you know what? Me, I'm not gonna, the way things are right now, I just, what's gonna happen? Like, everything is on the playing field here. I think that we can, in some ways, we think if we do X, Y, and Z and blah, 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 and then we're gonna get back to normal, or we're going to get back to, the world that we had before. But is the world that we had, like, what is this world? Like, I think that's where I'm at right now, is like, what is this? And I know I'm getting really woo-woo. It's like, oh, well, what time is it now? It's almost 1 a.m. I'm trying to figure out, like, what is exactly this reality even? Like, it's so messed up. Like, what, some people agree, well, I'm not a flat earther. I think the earth is round, but even the genesis of man, our own existence is in question as to what that reality is. Like, even from, like what the teachings of the Bible are, and what, what the teachings of all the different, religions that are out there. And, there's such a hate and a pigeonholing of everybody's belief systems. Really, seriously, I've never, I don't know. I've been on this planet for a while, right? And I think maybe like, oh my God, yeah, this is a great conversation. We have got to talk outside this platform. Yeah, right? Yeah, we do. I always try to have, always try to keep positive about stuff. You know, like to be, like, I don't want to think of everything being like a doomsday. Like, I don't want to think everything being like The Stand, a Stephen King movie, right? Or, Mr. Rabbit, or, these horrific characters. But if you watch these movies, you see reoccurring types of, archetypes in them. Like, for example, I'm rambling now, but one thing I want to point out between Mr. Rabbit and The Stand, all right, and this is the Mr. Rabbit, the American version with John Cusack, and The Stand, they both have characters that have a patch over their eye. And both characters had an injury where they lost their eye in the movie. And to me, that is the Eye of Horus. Like, that is, that is that ancient story that goes back, that Hollywood decides to, like, make those characters, and those characters somewhat, not in Mr. Rabbit, but I know that in The Stand, the character that has the patch is deaf and mute. He's deaf, but he doesn't speak, and he has one eye gone, but he showed compassion. The man who took his eye out was dying from the virus, and he went and and cleaned him up while he was dying, and he showed him compassion. So he's like the Christ character. So there's that blending of Horus, or I guess Ra, Horus, and then Jesus Christ. And they always try to, Hollywood tries to blend, make it the same person, or blend that consciousness into it. I find that interesting, and I wanted to bring that up before the end of the show. But yeah, to me, I feel like I need to keep a positive attitude, or to have a positive outcome of what we might go to, just because like, what we think in our head is our reality, and what our energy is towards something is our reality. But I'm not gonna be like a blind sheep person, right? Like, I'm not just gonna go just because, like, they told me, because Dr. Oz says it, just because Dr. Oz has a stethoscope, or Dr. Phil sits there and goes, I know what's going on with you, I'm gonna tell you what to do. I can't go there right now. There's so many doctors that have made mistakes. We like for some reason, and again, that's television programming. You respect this authority over here. You respect this, and don't worry about it. I have your best interest. I don't know. I've been in hospitals, and I've gone to doctors, and I've always believed that you need to take control of your own health. That means, like, eating right, and exercising, and not indulging in too much alcohol, and you know what I mean? It's like, taking care of your temple and your body, and making it the best that you can naturally. Make it so you don't have to go to the doctor, or wear your body out. Treat your body like fine linen. But I just don't. I like I said, I'm one of those people that I'm gonna sit back, and I hope it's okay that I can share that with you on Instagram without having anybody saying, well, hey, I hope I'm not that powerful. I hope, I don't think, like, I'm not like, Kristen Stewart here. It's interesting, before I go, because I'm trying to keep these rants, if it's just me talking, I don't want to talk too long on these. All right. If I have another person, yeah, we can talk. We can do an hour or do whatever, but it's just me here. Melinda Armstrong, 1980. Welcome. And then the Piment Takarala joined. I'm going to wave at you guys. Papa Hemp. Hemp-based blood transfusion therapy. Yeah, and you know what? I want to do a show on that with you, Papa Hemp, on on the juicing of the cannabis plant, juicing the leaves. You are all powerful. Well, thank you. And then also the therapy that you're talking about, the secrets of the cannabis plant need to come out into the open. Okay, so one last thing. Kristen Stewart, they talked about activism. They talked about being famous. And they talked about, well, you know, when you're famous, you can actually do things in activism and you can have a social influence on causes. And, you know, and they got into that arena of, you know, well, you know, and do you think that your cause, you know, is affecting your career because it can influence people to think one way about you because of what you do politically and what you do as an entertainer. And it just made me think about all of that. You know, like who has influence, and when they say something, because they said it, it means something different. And then people, well, you know, if Wendy Williams is not going to get the jab, then, you know, maybe I'm not going to get the jab because, you know, she's, you know, on camera saying it, you know. I mean, it just... And what is that really? Like, what is it that we have to look outside of ourselves to something that we look up to, created by Babylon Hollywood, you know, created by the occultists, that we have to go, oh, because they said it on the talking box, you know, it must be true. Or because, you know, the scientists believe that things are this way, then the scientists always know what's right. And you know, because we've given that power to science, but you don't bring anything else into it. Like, you don't bring any you know, God or supernatural or things that you can't explain. You know, we just have to really believe that, you know, we came from Cro-Magnon guy, you know, that we all went, we were monkeys before, or these, you know, beings that had no consciousness, and then one day we evolved into these wonderful people that we are right now. I'm sorry. All right. I'm going to send you a DM. Oh, I hope you do. It's a pleasure meeting you. Here on the live stream. And I really want to thank all of you guys that just popped in for a second. I hope this made some sense tonight. I had like another thing planned, and then for some reason I got caught off on. But that's what this is all about, right? Because it's a stream of conscious rant, satirical stream of conscious rant of something for the apocalyptic times. All right. On that note, I'm going to say good night, good morning, and God bless you guys. Take care. Okay, where am I?